Once upon a time, very long ago, in a remote village, there were boys living together in the same house. Together they plowed the fields left by their parents. The crops they produced were not enough to feed 3 strong young men, so they had to weave baskets and straw baskets to sell at the market. But no matter how hard they work and how frugally they live, they still Don and number 39 T have any money left in the house to spend when they have work. Often when there are no coins left in the house, there is a lack of salt or the kettle cannot be used. But the worst is when the year ends, because this is the time to pay taxes. One day, the eldest brother, Saburo, decided to leave. He told the 2 younger brothers, "We cannot continue to live like this." He had to go somewhere else to find a job. "You two, please arrange your affairs together, and when I have enough money to pay taxes, I will return." The 2 younger brothers agreed to let Saburo go away to work to earn money. He went to a nearby city, and a merchant hired him to work as a cart driver. For 6 months, Saburo led a cart carrying tea, salt and other goods, going from market to market. The merchant was very pleased with him and wanted to hire him for a long-term job. But Saburo politely refused the merchant and number 39's offer, saying, "I am very happy to receive your trust, but I must go home. The new year is coming, my brothers are waiting for me to bring money home to pay taxes." The merchant had to pay him his salary. Saburo tied the copper money into a cloth and set off for his hometown. He walked quickly, but it was already dark, and to get back to the village, he had to go through another deep forest. Although he was a bit scared, Saburo had to go because he knew the children were waiting. Tomorrow was the last day of the year. Just think of the scene when I put the money in the middle of the table. You two will stare with wide eyes. Even if you guys Don and number 39 T wait, I still have to keep going, because there isn't and #39 TA house around where I can stop by and ask to stay the night. The only way is to forget fear and go through the forest. He tried to walk quickly, not looking to the right, not to the left, but just aiming straight at the small narrow piece of sky that stood out on the road between 2 rows of trees. The forest was quiet, and slowly Saburo regained his courage. I and number 39 am more than halfway there. Now I and number 39 am afraid of what could happen. Everything around me is silent. I have no reason to be afraid, he thought to himself. But suddenly, in front of him there was a point of light fluttering on the road. What is that? I feel scared. But he tried to regain his courage. Don and number 39 T believe in ghosts. Imagining too much makes me afraid of ghosts. However, he slowed down and looked intently at the long road before his eyes and at the small spots of light dancing on the road. The glimmering spots of light circled above the road between 2 rows of trees, then they gradually approached each other, slowly, quietly. A moment later, Saburo heard a small buzzing sound coming from the spots of light. Then the sound grew louder and louder into a strange murmuring sound. Saburo turned pale in fear. He stopped, clearly heard the voice coming from the sparkling, dancing circle. "If you need me, then marry me. If you Don and number 39 T need it, then go away. If you need me, take me. If you Don and number 39 T need it, then go away." And the light moved closer and closer to him. "What do you want me to do for you? Let me go, do you hear?" Saburo was so scared he shouted and ran very fast. He ran as hard as he could, until he reached home, out of breath, his hair standing on end. And as if he was chasing his heels, he ran into the house without having time to take off his sandals and lay down on the mat, exhausted. The two younger brothers were sitting at dinner, and when they saw this in front of the small table, they quickly asked, "What happened that you had to rush into the house like that, without even greeting anyone?" "But look, you and number 39. They soiled the whole mat." Saburo quickly took off his sandals and carefully closed the door. A moment later, he calmed down and said to the children, "Hey guys, you can and number 39. Imagine the dangerous situation I just escaped. When I was halfway through the forest, the thugs attacked me. I was alone and there was nowhere to hide in the forest. They jumped around me, constantly shouting, and quat, 'Marry me. Marry me and quat.' I was only able to escape thanks to these fast legs." The ghosts didn't and #39. Say anything else to you? Hatsuro asks. Although he was the youngest brother, he had a strong physique and was famous for being the most courageous in the village. I Don and number 39. Hear what they say anymore. I and number 39. Am so happy that they didn't and #39. Catch me. Saburo replied. The second brother, Rokuro, heard this and seemed thoughtful. After a moment, he spoke up, "These must be strange ghosts. He should have kept them. Perhaps by doing so, they will stop acting evil in the forest. He must have been too afraid of being captured by them. Did you say the place they appeared was halfway between here and the street? Okay, let me go there and see." The second brother left. It was completely dark. In the darkness, it was difficult for him to recognize the path. When he was about halfway there, he suddenly saw something shining in the night sky in the middle of the forest. Rokuro stopped, but even though he tried his best to strain his eyes to look into the darkness, he still saw nothing more than glimmering rings of light. He came closer, he clearly heard a whisper, then when he got a few steps closer, he heard a voice speak very clearly, "If you need me, take me. If you Don and number 39. Need me, then go away. If you need me, take me. If you Don and number 39. Need me, then go away." The lights kept coming closer, they danced around him. Suddenly Rokuro felt scared. He felt like those areas of light would jump at him. He turned around, hung his legs around his neck, and ran. Hashiro saw his brother and number 39's face turn pale and said, "You and number 39. Both so cowardly. You trembled in fear when you heard the voice, but the light did not reach you. Now let me go see what these ghosts are like." He went into the room to find a string and said, "Let and number 39. See if you tie the light in this string, can they still say and quat, 'Marry me and quat'?" The later the night gets, the darker it becomes. But Hatsuro was so used to walking on this road on dark nights that he wasn't and #39 afraid of getting lost. When he was about halfway from his house to the street, he saw flickering lights dancing around him. Because he wasn't and #39 afraid, he kept moving forward until he was in the middle of the light. He heard around him a buzzing voice saying, "If you want me, take me. If you Don and number 39. Want me, then go away." The whole forest echoed with a strange murmur. "If you want me." "Of course I want you." Hatsuro shouted and then bent down to continue speaking. "Hop! Jump on my back. Let me see who you are." Immediately the light disappeared and the whispering stopped. But Hatsuro felt a weight on his back. He was a healthy young man, but when the ghost jumped on his back, he almost wanted to collapse to the ground. He tried to muster all his strength to stand up and shouted, "Ma, you are wrong. I and number 39 am very healthy. It and number 39 's not easy to compete with me." He took off the rope wrapped around his body, threw it onto the strange object lying on his back and boiled it tightly around it. Then he turned around and carefully walked back to the village, panting as he walked. The night was dark, but the ghost on his back emitted enough light to see the path as if it were day. With every step he took, the weight on his back became heavier and heavier. If he didn't and #39 use all his strength to carry it, it would be difficult to get home. Yet he is the healthiest guy in the area. He finally reached his home yard, he breathed a sigh of relief, and wanted to get rid of the burden on his back. But, even though he tilted it back and forth to throw it off, this strange burden seemed to be glued to his back. Hatsuro shouted angrily, "There is no way we could agree like this. It and number 39 's true that I want you, but I don't and number 39 have to carry you on my back forever like this. Do you think I will carry you forever?" He ran into the kitchen, hitting his back hard against the wall. There was a clear laugh, but the heavy block still did not fall. And quote, laugh at someone one day and laugh the next and quote. Hatsuro said loudly, and then he walked backwards in the room. He used the momentum and slammed the heavy mass on his back into the pillar supporting the ceiling. He hit so hard that he lost his balance and fell to the ground. But suddenly he heard a pleasant jingling sound, and then he saw feathers rolling around the room. There were so many gold coins that they rolled out into the yard, and a long time later, the cousins still found gold coins stuck in the cracks of the house and number 39's plank doors. The two older brothers quickly joined hands to play and greatly praised the youngest brother and number 39's courage. All the brothers happily shouted, "Ha ha, what a wonderful ghost! This ghost is gold and wants to live with you." From that day on, they never saw poverty again, and they lived happily ever after. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.